Girl and cops bond. Imagine your life as an impoverished child living by a local 7-Eleven. Things get so bad that you have to resort to stealing food to feed you and your siblings. You risk being thrown in juvenile detention because you do not even have your basic needs provided for. It would be a heart-wrenching predicament. That's exactly the fate of Klynn Scales. She was a 9-year-old little girl who grew up in circumstances that were less than ideal in Kansas City. She had to scrounge for food. Her mom was a single mom and she had 2 brothers that needed nourishment. On top of that, her life was ridden with family violence and drug abuse. But her tale wasn't all bleak. There was a hero of the story, and sometimes that person can be like a guardian angel. You don't know why they're worried or care, but that person has a big heart. Scales tells her story because she had an unlikely friend through it all. She made friends with a police officer, Sergeant Jeff Colvin. Colvin would stop by her home every day to check on her. Being a friendly and optimistic girl, Scales smiled when she got the door. He was a bright spot in her existence. In the difficult times that were ahead of her, Scales regaled the visits from the officer. She felt that he would really be there for her if she needed him, just like he promised. One day, Colvin was making the rounds in the neighborhood. Today was different than all the others. Scales did not come bounding to the door to greet him. Colvin acted on his instinct, and it was a good thing that he did. He found Scales in the home alone. The little girl was ill and there was no one there to take care of her. Colvin then lurched into emergency mode. He took her to the hospital in his car. When they were there, the staff gave him some unfortunate news. Scales was suffering from malnutrition. Klynn Scales thankfully recovered from her bout of illness. She was able to move away. She relocated to Texas where her life was about to improve. The officer went away from the situation knowing he had done his duty to the girl. He never really thought of it much after that. Klynn never did forget the acts of kindness of the officer. It was his words of comfort as well as his actions that day that proved he was trustworthy. She felt a special connection with Colvin. Years later, Klynn Scales decided to write a letter to track down the cop. She knew he worked at 5301 East 27th in Kansas's East Precinct, so she sent him a letter there. Well, 20 years had passed, Klynn Scales still considered this man from her childhood to be her hero, and she was actually able to meet him in person. The two took pictures together and with other members of the department. She must have really felt a special connection to go out of her way to reunite. To her, it seemed to be the opportunity of a lifetime. All in all, Colvin was changed by the experience as well. He said that people can go through their lives and wonder if they're actually helping people when he was interviewed. Colvin even admitted to his own personal struggle on camera. He told the reporter from Fox 4 News that he had wondered if he had chosen the right career. It can be difficult when you don't get that positive feedback from someone who says you made a true mark on their life's trajectory. This can be a lesson to everyone out there who's discouraged. There are professionals in every field that are willing to go above and beyond for those in need. And the hope is, too, that more people will look for ways to help those that they see in need in the community. It only takes a little bit of time out of one's day to ensure that people are safe and happy. And to someone who needs the care, it just might mean the world. Klynn seems to have a bright outlook on life now. She's able to tell her story with grace and dignity. She was certainly so grateful for the cop who made it his mission to ensure that he could be there for her when she needed him. To any professional out there, you can make a difference in your career. You may even have made a significant mark on someone's life who's waiting to reach out to you. And even if you don't, you can know that they're most likely grateful.